Hello everybody, this is Danny from Deep South Homestead. We are back here today in the garden, and yes, it is fall outside. We actually got long sleeves on. It's in the 50s here, so it's a good temperature, but it's the time of the year that we start saving our seeds. And a lot of people have asked for videos about how do I save seeds on any particular plant. Well, right now we're saving seeds on okra. This is an heirloom variety here. This is the Star of David. It's the one that we prefer for frying okra and canning okra because of its diameter and thickness and everything. Its taste, it's just a lot better for frying for us than a little small skinny okra that just goes to nothing when you cook it. This stays large and is really a good eating okra. I'm going to pull one of the stalks down here. They're a little bit tall. We'll pull one of the lower ones down and we'll show you what we're looking for. You see the okra here, how it's beginning to open up on the sides here. You start seeing the white coming out on it. This is dry enough for us to actually start taking it off the stalks to save. And if you don't get it off in time, what happens is these here actually open up, and the seeds will actually fall out of them before you actually get them harvested off the plant. So I'm going to show you some other things you're going to want to look for when you harvest your okra. We may have to pick a few pods to actually find what I'm talking about, but I don't think we'll have to go very far. Let me see if I can get it off. Now we take our knife to cut it off. I'll go and get both of these while I got it bent over. Okay guys, one of the things you're going to be looking for here is when your okra, now down south, this may not be true up north, but stink bugs are a problem down here. And what happens is, you see this right here when I open this up? Watch what happens right here. You see this little critter right there crawling out of there? He's going to fly away now, probably. But that is a baby stink bug. They will come, and I usually will mash them. If I can get him out. You see him on the end of my finger there. They get up in these okras, and they hide up in there. They get down up in where your seeds is at down in here. They crawl up in there. And that's why I usually will not take mine in the house until I'm made sure that there's none in it. You can actually drop them down in a bucket like this. If you shake that bucket around like that, if there's any of them left in there, just that vibration in the okra shaking around, they'll start climbing out in the bucket down in here, moving around. And then you can just kill them in the bucket like that and get them out of here. Okay, here's another one right here on the okra. And one thing is, it's so cool out here this morning. These bugs are not hardly moving. You see him there, he doesn't want to crawl very well. But that's those baby stink bugs I'm telling you about. They get all in this okra down south. Now we're gonna go ahead and mash him and kill him. But I'll assure you, see how this is opened up here? This is what I'm telling you about. If you're not careful, this stuff will open up on the stalk. Even though it's still green here, it's opening up. Those seeds will fall out before you get them harvested. So you got to be really careful with this Star of David and get it at the right time. Now this okra here was planted back in the early spring, and because it was so cold here, the ground stayed so cold, this okra was late coming up. It didn't really do anything until late summer, and now going into the fall. So, you know, we got a really good harvest later in the year, but it was just, we wasn't what we expected. Okra usually comes on in pretty early in the spring and then goes through the summer. Well, this didn't even start producing until midsummer, simply because it's been so cold for so long down south here. And then I do apologize about the noise in the background here, guys, because they're logging right next to me here, and they've got the fellow bunchers and the saw heads and all running on the equipment. So don't let that bother you. Another one I just harvested here, you can see how the seeds are laying in here. They'll fall right out. If I turn this thing over and just bump it the least bit, to see how the seeds start falling out? This is what you got to be careful for about your okra. Even though it's still green around here, these things are opening up, and as I roll it around, the seeds are falling out in my hand here. So we're going to have these also, guys, up for sale on Etsy, on our Etsy store. It'll be deepsouthhomestead.etsy.com. It'll be the Star of David okra. Will be up for sale. So if y'all are interested in that, we invite you to come over to our Etsy store. We have okra, We have sugar cane. We have different varieties of seeds for sale. Also got on our Etsy store, we have the sugar cane up for sale. We have the chewing cane. We have the syrup making cane. Now you have to understand, this is a very limited amount of time to put this in the ground. We've probably got another couple of weeks, maybe at the most, and then it's over till this time next year. This is for people down south, because anyone in anything above zone 7, you're not going to be able to grow sugar cane. It's going to probably be sorghum unless you bring it inside and grow it in a container inside. Probably the only way you'll be able to do it. But we'll also be selling the syrup that we make from this on our Etsy store. So if you're interested, there'll be pints of syrup available as soon as we get it done. Now you got to wait till we get through processing all of it, but it may be up on our Etsy store at any day. I don't know what time this video is going to come out. But keep those things in mind if you're interested in those kinds of things. Lots of people say, I've never tasted cane syrup. This is organically grown cane syrup. Has no Roundup used on it or anything like that. So we invite you to try it when we get it done if you're interested in it. And we definitely would appreciate that, because it helps us to fund things here on our homestead when you purchase it from our Etsy store. So guys, let me go ahead and show y'all one more thing here, and I don't mind doing it right here. I'm going to show you before we go too far about the okra. Okay guys, what okra does is it comes apart like this here, and I'm going to go ahead and open this up even though it's in the bucket. These have got to actually dry a little more, but see, you just take your finger, you can just roll it along here. They'll fall out, and then you go to the next thing on okra. You pull it apart like that. The seeds will just fall out. It just comes apart like that. It just in layers. I don't mind doing one that way to show y'all here. Now what I usually do, I'm doing this just for demonstration purposes only. That's what the okra looks like once you've took all the seeds out of it. Now I normally let the okra just stay until it dries 100% brown before I ever take the seeds out. But for demonstration purposes, I'm just showing y'all what it looks like and how you take it apart. Very simple, nothing to it. You rake them right out. And once you get through doing that, look at the insects I was telling you about there. Another stink bug right here, locked up inside that thing. We're gonna kill him so we don't have to be bothered with him next year. But then we're gonna, like I said, we'll take them and we'll just let them dry completely, because you can see they're still green, but yet they're opening up and the seeds will fall out. And we're doing this during dry weather. Okay guys, that's a little bit about the Star of David okra. It's an heirloom variety we grow here at Deep South Homestead. One of the best frying okras you can get now. So thank you from Deep South Homestead.